thanks to the video, now, like you said, you know, there was a face to the name, you know, and we started doing more shows in Nakuru, you know, we started doing shows in Naivasha, you know, Eldoret and what have you. And then this is like just a month after we've dropped the video. So Chaguo Teeniez came by, you know. Chaguo Teeniez came by and I was like, okay, now this is the best platform ever, you know. And Chaguo Teeniez was tomorrow. Today was a Friday, we had a show in Nakuru. So we were driving to Nakuru to do a show and then come back
then
ready for Chaguo Teeniez the next day. So on that Friday, I got into the car solo. You know, it was me and the driver. I left the crew, Kina Firoz, Nani. I went to Wilson Airport. So because my name was all over the place on newspapers and what have you, it made it easier for me. So when I went there, I told them, okay, you know, I have this show tomorrow and I wanted to hire your chopper, you know. So I said before that I paid 60,000, but it was actually way more than 60,000. And I'll explain why. When I went there, they told me, that's fine, you know, but we charge per hour. So whether you're just, because when they gave me the quotation, I told them, I'm like, yani kutoka hapa mpaka pale mnani charge 100 and something thousand. So they explained that we normally charge per hour. So, you know, whether you use it for 5 minutes, whether the engine is on, you just have to pay. So in all honesty, I paid like, I think 135,000. The reason why I said 60,000 is because I didn't want people to mock me, because, you know, there are people who were saying that, check you jama amechukua chopa kutoka Wilson kuvuka fence, you know. So when somebody asked me, I said, yeah, ilikuwa 60,000 si mob, you know, just to sideline that whole vibe. So when I paid them, they told me, okay, how many are you guys gonna be? I told them it's gonna be like, it was Oscar, Firoz, and Raja and myself, 4 of us, plus the pilot now. So they gave me this manual, you know, like this manual that shows the safety precautions and, and everything. So they said, okay, because you're 4 of you, here's 4 of these manuals. They're like, say 4-page manuals. They're like, yeah, please make sure the people who will be on board go through this and everything. That was Friday morning. So by around 4 o'clock, we're now heading towards Nakuru. It's washed me, you know, to tell these guys, you know how tomorrow, Maze, we're gonna shut it down. We're driving. I pulled those manuals. This is now when we're in Wayaki Way. So I gave Firoz, I gave Oscar, I gave the whole squad. So these guys are looking at these manuals and going like, Prez Maze is so full of himself. They were thinking ati, ati because we're traveling to Nakuru and see I had that van called Air Force One. So they thought ati now, those are the manuals ati. The manuals.
Please passengers.
Please passengers, you know, be very careful. So these guys I didn't tell them up until we went to Nakuru. We did a show and came back. So when we got back, I told them, cool, so we're going for that Chaguo Teeniez, right? But then after I had completed the payments with Wilson Airport, I called Adam and the insider stuff. You know, I told them, so for tomorrow's show, me, I'm checking in a chopper.
They were like, what?
They started laughing, you know. They were like, check your Prezzo. I'm like, no, seriously, I'm actually checking in with the chopper. They're like, are you serious? I'm like, bro, in fact, these people said you call them because they have to mark where the chopper is gonna land. So when they saw these people from the company I had the chopper from coming to say, okay, the chopper will land here, That's when Kina Adam said, okay.
Oh my God, it's about to go down.
Yeah, this youngin wasn't BSing. So they marked the landing spot, you know. And Kina Adam were like, hey, okay, this is gonna be interesting. Myself, you know, before that, I used to try and visualize everything. Like, be it a show, I'd make sure I visualize how it's gonna be, you know, and all that. So, all said and done, we're back from Nakuru. Now, in the morning when we woke up on that Saturday for Chaguo Teeniez, I look up in the sky, it's cloudy like hell. Cloudy, yani mawingu, you know, you can just tell here it's going to pour and it's gonna pour heavy. So I'm like, okay, I've already paid for this thing, and then now the weather is not working to my advantage. So, you know, nikaomba Mungu, nikasema mazee, si leo. Yani hata wache kunyesha hii wiki nzima, lakini si leo, you know. So the crew was ready and everything. So now I had to brief my people. I told Kina Firoz, I'm like, remember the manuals I gave you yesterday?
Those booklets.
Yeah, those booklets. I wasn't just messing around. We're going into Chaguo Teeniez na chopper. So, you know, the first thing somebody thinks is, kani iko hapo? Wilson Airport ni hapa tu. But anyway, you know, this guy, like, let's just trust his judgment, you know. Kwa hiyo, we're driving now to Kani. Bro, it started drizzling. I'm like, hapa, leo nimewezwa. So by the time we got to Carnival, the guys had already been moved from the Carnival grounds to inside where the club is.
Yeah.
Because of the rain. They had to make another setup and everything. So you can imagine my disappointment. I was just like, man, yani today of all days, just when I planned yani something, you know. But you know me, I always pray to God, bro. Me, praying doesn't necessarily mean going down on your knees. I have conversations with him. So I was like, my man, kikwedi yani maze, you're just gonna play me like that. Today of all days, you know. I started those, rain, rain, go away, come back another day, you know. Rain, rain, go away, come back another day. So, you know, God always listens, because there's no other way you can explain this situation.
Guys had actually been taken inside.
Yeah, and the performances had started. The awards had started. The ceremony had started.
Yeah.
You know? So, I went to Adam. I told Adam, I'm like, bro, what are we gonna do, bro? Adam was like, you know, the weather did not favor us, you know, so itabidi too, we write it off, you know. But when I look outside, I can see kidogo, it's like God is vibing me. I can see some jewel popping up, nini. When the rain just katika like this, I told Adam, bro, what we can do right now is hamisha this thing back to the gardens. You know, I know meshaanza na kila kitu, lakini I put too much money into this whole thing. So please, you know, if you can, let's move it back to the grounds. Adam was like, okay, cool, we'll move it back. They had a team meeting. Kidogo, they said, okay, sorry guys, you know, for now, the rain has come down. Let's just move it back to the gardens, to the grounds.
Yo, this is the behind the scenes madness that was happening.
This is the behind the scenes madness that was happening. So imagine, huku ndani wameshafanya setup and everything, and the award show has already started.
Yeah.
Then they had to stop it, you know, and take
back the gear, the sound,
the sound, yeah. Sasa hapo sayo nimeshaongea na watu Wilson Airport, nimwambia, okay, cool, you know, the weather wasn't on our side, but I think we're good to go. That's how now, you know, everything was moved back there. They carried on with the award show and everything. And then now us guys weren't in the ground, because us guys, we have this grand entrance. So since to go to Wilson Airport, up we can hear everything that's going on, mind you. So we were given the chopper, got inside the chopper. This time, even me, myself, I'm feeling like it's like a dream. Firoz is looking at me. Oscar is looking at me. My cousin Ray is looking at me like, dude, you were insane, you know? Hapo hata kina style sijawaambia. I wanted it to have that
shock
surprise
factor.
element. We get into the chopper, you know, the anistas, we chomoka. So I've already talked to Adam. I'm like, okay, cool. Us guys will be landing in how long? Adam is like, in 10 minutes, you guys come through, you know? So I told this guy, let's pick a lapo. Which called a lapo, went to Karen. Then Adam, now he was like, come. So I told the guy, I'm like, let's head to Wilson Airport. He already knew exactly where we were going to land. So we go there, and then, now because I was up there, I don't know how they introduced it, but then they just said, now, ladies and gentlemen, you know, want to introduce to you the president. So when they used that term, the president, guys thought ni Kibaki, yes. You know? So guys were wondering, how would President Kibaki come to a Chaguo la Teeniez, you know? Chuku, he landed, and then I had this walking stick, you know? Swag has always been on 1,000 really. Like even if you check my TBTs, bro, kunaga ta TBT moja ndasema msicheke, because there's nothing to laugh about, you see? So now when the chopper was shooking, I saw this crowd of people. Everybody just focused now on that chopper, not knowing who it is, not knowing what's gonna happen, you know, but they just focused on this chopper. When it touched down, it's the CMB crew pulling up, you know. Firoz had a walking stick, I had a walking stick, Robert had a walking stick, you know. And people couldn't believe, like their jaws dropped to the floor, including my fellow artists. So, you know, by the time we got down, I had the microphone already, you know. Chomokad went as I took my award, performed Let's Get Down, Naleta Action. You see?
Yo.
The response from the crowd was overwhelming.
Whoa.
You know what I mean? Like, this guy is half man, half amazing. You see? So after that, you know, because we had to wait and see, I had the most nominations. Best new artist, best nene, best collaboration. So we couldn't chomoka with the chopper, so we let the guy go, and I was not going to pay for another hour.
Yeah.
I mean, my point already hit home.
Yep.
So the love, and you know, we built this relationship with the insider, because you see.
So that day stamped you.
That day stamped me.
And it also put you on your own lane.
Yeah, it put me on my own lane, and it was even aired on the news. Those days, for a musician to be aired on the news was a dream. It was a rumor, you know. But they said, yeah, kuna mwanamuziki anaitwa Prezzo ambaye aliwasili kwenye Chaguo la Teeniez hile kama president kabisa. Angalieni. Chuku. They played that part, you know. So everywhere I'd go, you know, now I started getting more shows, and we had more bargaining power. Believe it or not, you know, no artists used to go for shows like in Mombasa by air. We started that whole movement, you know. Jamaa alikuwa anapiga simu anasema, Prezzo bwana, siwajua wewe una magari nini? Nikamwambia nina magari bro, lakini you know, at the end of the day, kama utanilipia ndege, forget it man. See, I have the bargaining power, I have the upper hand. Forget it too. Prezzo wajua? I'm like, no, sijui. You know, kaa kuna ticket na mbili yangu na ya Firoz. We are the ones who instilled that. So other artists used to see, if these guys are going by plane,
even us, Bana.
Yeah, why not us, you know?
You know, I've interviewed a lot of people, and what you're talking about right now, it's true. I've never looked at it. I met the culture. Of course, when you start as a musician, you're all buzzing. You get, I mean, depending on who you are. Exactly. So I'm seeing that transition to planes now.
Yeah, to planes, yeah. And
locally, I'm talking locally.
Yeah, locally. We're the first ones. After the promoters used to complain, they're like, bwana wajua wa CMB bwana, kwa sababu tulikuwa tunasema kama tunakuja Mombasa, we're staying at White Sands. You know, you have to cater for everything, dishes, nini, and on top of that, you know, we want our 50K performance fee. At that time, 50K was a lot of cash. Yeah.
So this song, I mean, that stunt, by the when, you know, from a consumer perspective,
right,
I could have laughed at it in terms of how much money you've spent, or from an artist perspective, that's so stupid. Look at how much money this guy has spent to just hook a fence. But from a brand perspective, that was marketing on steroids.
On 1,000 trillion.
Yeah.
You know, and now that we're still on that.
Because I know that day, and everybody you ask people about Prezzo, people know about you being on the chopper.
Kabisa. Others even knew that I own a chopper, bro. And who was I to say no? I never used to say yes. I never used to say no. I just used to give him the wink and the gun. ati Prezzo, so hiyo chopper yako iko who am I to disagree, you know, at the end of the day. So well, still on that chopper vibe, you know, it's because of that move that these people felt the urge to pay for these air tickets. And also my fellow artists also started stepping their game up and saying, you know what, if you're not paying for an air ticket for me, I'm not coming by bus, which most artists used to travel to shows by bus. They'd be like, yo, if Prez is coming by air and we're in the same show, why not us, you know? So they also tightened the bolt, you know.
Nice.
And the promoters had no choice but to budge. You see what I mean?
I get it.
So,
oh man, that's crazy. So I mean, so that explodes you.
So that explodes me.
And what are the kind of places that you start getting shows? Are we talking
Mombasa?
Okay, wait, you can first answer.
No, it's fine. Mombasa, Eldoret. You know, there's this hotel called Sirikwa. They were doing so many road shows at that time in Mombasa, Nakuru, and Eldoret. So anywhere there used to be an airport, us guys used to say, we're taking flights there. You know, that time there was no 540 CG, jumbo jets. You are lazima ungefika bei tu. You see? So other artists started following suit. You see what I mean? But had it not been for that chopper stunt, then we wouldn't have caught these people's attention for them to see the importance of investing in artists and investing in shows. You see? It was a crazy move.
Kabisa. Even for somebody with the resources, you see, it's one thing to have the resources, another thing to have the intelligence.
True.
And the creativity.
It's true.
You know?
Yeah.
So I have never really given that move respect like now.
Yeah.
Boss, take the gun and the wink. so let me ask you now. I mean, we're deep in the music, huh? So again, I've known you 1999 in Nini Neighbors, 2001. I've gone to SA. We are still talking Kenyan madness.
Right.
This is Jackso. I come home holidays all the time. But this time when I come home, the letter action you sent me, I still put that on Kenyan madness. But this time when I come home, there's this song and every single guy is bumping to it. Vile tafanya.